Well, you guys asked for more, and that's what's gonna be happening. What's going on, you guys? Is your surely master Sakurai here, and we are back with the continuation of Linkara Atop the fourth wall. Um, and so he made another video talking about Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, um, episode 15 through 16. I want to say. Well, I mean, he did say he was gonna watch it on like his off time. I hope he did, because the series Sentai series is really good. So without further ado, we're not gonna, pan through it. Let's just get on right to it. Oh, and if you support the channel, support his channel, show your support down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Let people know that I exist and Linkara exists. So here we go.
Hello and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. Patreon-sponsored review time again, and once more, it's time to look at some Sentai. In case you missed the last Gokaiger review, which is entirely possible, it's one of the videos that I ended up needing to heavily re-edit and re-upload after YouTube decided that I was a copyright-infringing thief for having video clips that were an outrageous 10 seconds instead of 7. Our heroes are a group of space pirates who don't actually do a lot of piracy, but they do have great fashion sense, especially their leader, Captain Marvelous, and his awesome red coat. The villains, the Zangiak Empire, and I still don't care if I'm pronouncing that wrong, were defeated when all the previous Super Sentai teams decided to ascend into pure energy or something and blow them all up. Though that was apparently overkill, because the aforementioned pirates came in a few years later and revealed that the Empire's ships are basically made of tinfoil and oily rags. Sure, it made them highly combustible, but there's a Zangiak Empire official who got a massive paycheck bonus for cost saving. The Gokaigers are looking for some kind of treasure and have been branded as pirates by the Zangiak. We're skipping ahead past the initial group of episodes we watched to this two-parter because the patron wanted to showcase an interesting villain. At first I thought we'd be getting the 6th Ranger when I skipped through the episode, but nope, just involves the Ranger keys of 6th Rangers. If we ever get to the 6th Ranger, hopefully they won't share the same fate as Burai at the hands of Ku Klux Casper. Let's dig into episodes 15 and 16 of Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger.
Oh, new lyrics. Wow, that's some good art.
We begin episode 15. A privateer appears. In a show about a group of pirates? How unusual! Doc, the green Gokaiger, has some news about the bounty placed on them.
5人合わせて1250万と
Unfortunately, that's like $8 in US dollars. Doc is worried that the bounty will surpass those of another infamous group, the Red Pirates, of which the good Captain Marvelous once was a part of. He shrugs that off, though visibly misses his shot on a dartboard when they're mentioned, and suggests they get working on their treasure hunt, having Navi use its prediction powers. You know, planned obsolescence got even worse when companies made it so that devices break themselves after a while.
Yep.
Navi warns them of danger, though it admits that that particular prediction felt different than the previous times it did this. Don't worry, Navi, we'll pop you open and do some repair work. Oh, you were built by Apple. Well, you're boned.
そういつも通り。占いだったけど。
Admittedly, there was a lot less swearing. Meanwhile, a spaceship, a modified version of the Zangiak ships, is flying through space, sporting this cool-ass logo. Skull and crossbones and a big B on the skull with a horn above it. I would be proud to have been attacked and my belongings stolen by a pirate with that sort of style. On board the ship is a monkey alien named Sally and a person who looks just as fabulous as his logo. Wars Gill, the guy in charge of the Empire's forces attacking Earth, detects the ship and his underlings explain that he's a privateer, a pirate sanctioned by the Empire.
ということになってはいますが、裏で何をしているかわからない連中でもあります。
Well, there is, but it's explained in that Japanese text behind the fan subs, so we'll never know. As such, Wars Gill decides to leave him be to do his thing, though Damaris is suspicious. Or maybe he's just thinking about the Gokaiger theme song as it starts up. Hey, dumb question, but in the first episode we saw them just annihilate a huge amount of the Empire's ships. Why don't they just do that again with Wars Gill and his forces? Or is that something they tried to do in the intermediate episodes and it didn't go well? Anyway, after the titles, our heroes have decided that they should wander around until the danger reveals itself. Doc slips on a banana peel. Classic.
危ないもの
Only if you're a teddy bear on Australian TV. Sally the monkey calls out to Captain Marvelous, referring to him as Marv.
マーベラス猿と知り合いな
Doc, let me initiate the marvelous mind meld. No, it wasn't the monkey talking. I mean, that'd just be ridiculous in this franchise. No, it was his human compatriot right behind him, identified as Bosco.
俺のこと覚えててくれてたんだ
Dude, who could forget an outfit like that? Bosco reveals that he's after the treasure as well. Marvelous takes it well. You know, at some point, the people behind Power Rangers Megaforce decided, no, we're not going to adapt the monkey that blocks gunshots with symbols. That won't work. Those people were wrong. And it's not just gunshots. Sally fends off an attack by Marvelous and his sword. It's a monkey fighting Captain Marvelous. What's there not to understand? The fight is interrupted by giant Zangiak foot soldiers attacking, sent by Damaris. During the fight, Basco notes that the Ranger keys must be the ultimate power. Not sure if that's different from the treasure, but whatever. And thinks Damaris did this so he could see it for himself. The other Gokaigers push Marvelous to tell them what the deal is with Bosco. He explains that Bosco betrayed the Red Pirates, which led to their destruction. Bosco was seduced by the dark side of the morphing grid. A flashback gives us more details. He, Bosco, and their captain used to be on the galleon together. Their captain was Akka Red, that spirit of all red Super Sentai team members I talked about in the last Gokaiger review. For some reason the pin on my lapel suddenly feels inadequate. They, along with Navi, traveled the universe gathering the Ranger keys. Longest fetch quest ever. Aw, look at them eating spaghetti. I bet they're gonna kiss like in Lady and the Tramp. Once they had gathered up all the keys, Bosco betrayed them to the Zangiak so he could have the treasure for himself.
何かを得るためには何かを捨てなきゃ
Not entirely true, Bosco. I can give you this free of charge. Akka Red orders Marvelous to run while he engages Bosco and the Zangiak, leading to that bit we saw at the start of the show when Akka Red saved Marvelous and then was lost in a fiery explosion.
これが命の恩人との約束
Huh? No, that's different. I devoted myself to my savior, Space Jesus.
Space
It's like
Jesus.
regular Jesus, but green. Bosco thanks Damaris for the info, saying that he'll take down the Gokaigers. Hello, Marvelous. Is your refrigerator running? Then you had better go catch it! No, see, it's a play on words because running... Look, you're embarrassing me in front of Damaris! The two agree to duel one-on-one the next day, Marvelous telling the others to not get involved.
I am therefore going anyway.
The two meet at the Sentai Battle Rock Quarry.
マベちゃんってばさ相当赤レッドに懐いてたけど
Akka Red never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No, Marv. I am your father. We're like the same age. Didn't stop Power Rangers Dino Charge. Bosco says that
True.
Akka Red hid things from them, revealing that he has the keys of various 6th Rangers that Akka Red never told them about. Bosco tosses them in the air, and naturally, via rule of cool, they all land perfectly inside some kind of...
And it pissed me the hell off. This man literally had all the Six Ranger keys of like the OG Six Rangers that I really love. He had the Omega Ranger key, the Green Samurai Ranger key, the Quantum Ranger key, and I know that's the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger key and the Zeo Gold Ranger key. Son of a bitch.
Of a trumpet device.
レンジャーキーにはこういう使い方もあるってこと。
I can play this next tune in the key of Quantum Ranger.
Son of a bitch.
Naturally, the other Gokaigers join in to even the odds a bit, since Bosco has a whole team of duplicate Sentai on his side. You know, it actually was quite surprising this fight wasn't adapted into Megaforce. Sure, they'd have to come up with some reason why the villain would have 6th Ranger keys, but you can be creative with that. Oh wait, I just kind of answered my own question there, expecting Power Rangers Megaforce to be creative.
Right.
In kind of a shocking turn of events, our heroes defeat them. Huh, surprising, because the structure of this kind of story would have our heroes lose at this point, only to come back later to win. But then again, Bosco does put hustle in your muscle, Bosco puts we in your knee. But no, the twist here is that while they think they've won, a second, larger group of 6th Rangers shows up to kick their asses when they least expect it. God, they even continue to kick the crap out of them after they've demorphed. Suddenly, Bosco's become the most effective villain in all of Sentai and Power Rangers. Bosco takes the other 4 hostage, saying that Marvelous can keep the 5 6th Ranger keys he's already defeated.
何かを得るには何かを捨てなきゃって。
I mean, the metaphor for sacrificing those 5 to win certainly works, but you could just walk over and take those keys. Nothing's stopping you to technically win without losing anything. Plus, why not just take all 5 and then storm the galleon on your own? Unless Navi has guns in its wings I haven't seen, it feels like that'd be pretty easy. That brings us to episode 16, Collision, Sentai versus Sentai. In the first 5 episodes, they kinda clashed with other Sentai twice. Don't really feel like at this point that's special enough to warrant its own title. Also, according to a couple sources I looked at, that's supposed to be Clash and not Collision. Marvelous can't track the ship they were taken on. What? No, the warranty on the galleon is not close to expiring, you stupid robocollar. It's Bosco, who offers to trade the 4 captured pirates for all the Ranger keys, the galleon, and Navi. If he doesn't agree, he'll just turn the 4 into the Zangiak and get the bounty on them. So win-win for Bosco. Damn it, Navi! Getting a concussion works for you, so why doesn't it work for me?
おっと、熱烈な視線。
I mean, you would be too if you couldn't remember which of your 50 pockets you kept your keys in. The others don't think Marvelous will do it, that his promise to Akared to get the treasure is too important.
だったらお前らを捨てればいいんじゃね。何かを得るには何かを捨てなきゃ。
I'm sorry, I can't purchase this one comic book without forsaking another. Or, you know, I could just go buy it later. Bosco, I don't think this is quite the gotcha you think it is. Luca tries to pretend to switch sides, but Bosco doesn't buy it, saying he has problems trusting people.
なぜって。人を信じて何か得することあんの？
You get pink text on the bottom of the screen, that's what.
うっかり信じた相手が俺みたいなやつだったらいろんなものを失っちゃうよ。
There is logic in what he says.
The others don't want Marvelous to be in a position where he might bargain for their lives, so they try to escape by stretching the shot as Doc stands up. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Weird. After failing to get Sally on their side, and another banana peel fall, the group are somehow able to open up a vent in their cell and crawl through it into a storage closet to immediately be recaptured. Marvelous, meanwhile, has another flashback to when he first met Akared and found a Ranger key.
相変わらずしょぼいもんしか置いてないな。
Ugh, these aren't chocolate. When Marvelous refuses to hand it over, Akared defeats him and offers him a chance to find the One Piece or whatever he's looking for. Marvelous calls up Bosco.
今から言う場所にあんたの望むものを持っていく。
What do you mean you're at soup?
And unfortunately, our heroes can't escape through the air vent again. Bosco put a keep out sign and some tape on it. Truly Bosco's most insidious act so far. Okay, guys, I'll just knock myself out and we can do the sick man routine. At the quarry, Marvelous has brought the Ranger keys, but he says he's not there to exchange anything. He's going to get his crew back without it.
何も捨てずに何かを得ようなんて無理なんだって。
The concept of receiving gifts made Bosco's head explode.
欲しいもんは全部この手で掴み取れ。それが海賊ってもんだろ。
So hey, it only took him another dozen episodes, but Marvelous finally figured out that being a pirate means stealing stuff. He tosses the chest at the four, which drops out the keys along with a morpher. Its technical name is Mobirate, which admittedly is kind of clever. And the group were able to escape. With our heroes freed, it's time to fight the 6th Rangers again. While they fight, Bosco decides to go for the Ranger keys, but Navi has already gathered them all back up and flown off with them. They're able to defeat the 6th Rangers through teamwork. Again, Power Rangers Megaforce would have loved that. I think they didn't want to do it because of Gosei Knight being in the fight, and in Megaforce there was a whole story reason why he wasn't around at this point. But they could have just replaced him with a Titanium Ranger in the few shots he's in. They've done it before. Oh yeah, and I suppose Daggeron here isn't technically a 6th Ranger on Power Rangers either. But why the hell would they care when they were putting Sentai-only teams in the show without any real explanation?
Exactly.
Anyway, yeah, the 6th Rangers are defeated, and Bosco decides to get out of there. To distract them, it turns out there's some kind of water monster hiding inside of Sally's stomach. What, don't you keep one of those in your monkey?
リキッドロイドのワテル君だ。可愛がってやってくれ。
You know, take him someplace nice, maybe go dancing afterwards. After the fight, Marvelous apologizes to the group for dragging them into his personal problems, but of course they don't care. And so our episode ends with Bosco revealing he still has another few 6th Ranger keys he can use against our heroes, which you can then give up while gaining humiliating defeat. The system works! These episodes are fine. Not great, just fine. It's possible that in future episodes, Bosco is considerably cooler, but for me, he was just okay. Clearly, he's not an idiot, which is always appreciated in a villain, and having a more personal stake against one of the heroes makes it that much more compelling character drama. But in the end, not a lot happens. We get Marvelous's backstory. Bosco introduces the 6th Ranger keys, has some good strategic fighting, and didn't overplay his hand. And the fights were great, although the liquid droid at the end felt like padding since that was in the last few minutes of the episode. The episodes are certainly nowhere near terrible. It's good character stuff and action scenes. It's just there's not really anything that major or cool to mention. It's 2 well-made episodes that help speak to the overall quality of the show. Good stuff, but not anything to write home about. Next time, our covenant with Mr. T and his ability to save us all must be fulfilled as we look at another issue of Mr. T and the T-Force.
What? Never even heard of that kind of comic. But yeah, that was good too. Like I said, but Bosco, I didn't really take to him as I thought I would. Like, he was a rogue pirate who betrayed Aquared and Marvelous, but like, I think it would have been better if he turned into, like, had his own significant Ranger key, right? And just, he wasn't necessarily like a 6th Ranger. He was one like a Dark Ranger. That would have been cool if that happened. That would have been a lot cooler to me. And he like morphed using his trumpet. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that would have been cool to me. Because why even establish that trumpet using the Ranger keys if nothing else is going to be done with it, if I can't morph with it? That would have been a cool morphing tool. Contest of Champions, he said. Okay.
Yeah, we should have the emitters installed next month. Well, force field tech has proven limited, given some of the threats we fought. Being able to slip ourselves or an enemy into a pocket universe will give us an advantage.
Okay, I guess this was an extra for something, but yeah, that was cool. That was honestly cool. Like I said before, Bosco, in my opinion, would have been better off as a Dark Ranger. You know, a Dark Ranger, instead of like in the end becoming a freaking monster or something. like a pirate monster. Like I saw the form. I remember the form of him. It would have been a lot cooler if he was a Dark Ranger for real. If he became a Dark Ranger, had his own Dark Ranger key. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just me spouting what I would think in my geeky head. Let me know what you guys think down below. What did you think about these 2 episodes? And do you think that Linkara is going to do, 2 more episodes where they introduce the Sixth Ranger, or do you think something else? Let me know in the comment section down below. As such, this has been Master Sakurai. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all again next time. I'm out. Peace.
We keep dreaming of a world where all is good, so we were told.